This is a piece of Cayenne colored garnet from Tanzania. This garnet weighs in about 5.5 carats. And although Tanzania is famous as the only location on Earth where Tanzanite has been found, there are many other gemstones found in Tanzania, including garnet. This garnet has a unique reddish-orange color like Cayenne. I also noticed some needles, very few, but some needles in this garnet, which is also rare. They may be rutile, and here's a photo from the Smithsonian Institute showing rare garnet with rutile inclusions. So let's take a look at our Tanzanite garnet in refractol. Now refractol doesn't have the same refractive index as garnet. It has about the same as quartz, but maybe it'll help us look into the stone. See if we can see anything inside. So it's not as good as if I was looking at quartz, but I can see through it. I mean, you can see the back of my tweezers through the stone, the back of the stone, and I'm not seeing any inclusions. So I'd say refractol doesn't hurt with quartz or garnet, but it's not perfect. There's some other liquids that might have a better refractive index that I might have to try in the future. I found this design called Accent at the Victorian Fasteners Group site. It's a great group of fasteners located in Australia and who have a very active group, a great group of gem cutters to know. The design is Accent was created by John Rolf, and no relation to the John Rolf of Gearless fame. And here is the key design information about the Accent design. I'm not certain, but I believe the comment that this design was used in the CWFG program refers to the Columbia Willamette Fasteners Guild out of Portland, Oregon, another great fastening group. If anyone knows for sure, please let me know in the comments. This design is for cutting material with a refractive index of 1.760. Garnet is a bit odd for gem material as the different types of garnet have different RIs, and the RI varies a bit depending on the mixture of material making up the particular garnet. But 1.760 is very, very close, so this design will work well for garnet and was designed for garnet. Note also that this design calls for cutting 41 facets, which makes this design suitable for all cutters from beginning level cutters on up. If I cut this garnet correctly using the Accent design, this is how the final gemstone should look from the top, bottom, and side. And just so you don't have to search all over the web, here are the cutting instructions for John Rolf's Accent design. Only a few rows or tiers of cutting instructions, which again allows this design to be cut by a beginning level cutter. I also appreciate that there are comments included in each line of instruction to aid the cutter in placing the facets. Okay, for our Accent design, there's a flat facet on the girdle at the 96 index tooth. So to put our stone in our index gear, our spindle, we'll set the index tooth to 96, and then with our stone, kind of find one of the flat spots right there would be fine, and that'll be the 96 index tooth girdle facet. And then we'll just tighten the set screw, and that'll lock our stone in place. We can start cutting this design. I've gone over the garnet with a 320 grit lap topper just to kind of preform it, get it in the general shape that I want it in. And so now I'll go over it with my my new Crystalite 600 grit solid steel lap. I had been using toppers at the 600 level when my last Crystalite solid steel lap wore out. And toppers are okay at the 600 grit level. They're not great, they're okay. but they're a little wobbly for me, so they don't cut as evenly as I would like. But at the 600 grit, it's fine. But once I saved up enough for the solid steel lap from Crystalite, I went ahead and bought that again. So I've gone through probably just one or two of those over the years. They do wear out, but they're good laps. So I'll go over the 600 grit lap now. Okay, with the 600 grit lap, I've gone over the Garnet again. I don't quite have the permanent center point made yet. I'll make that with the next lap. And I still need to bring in the girdle, make the stone a little bit smaller, because right here we're not where we need to be with the girdle. But as for the rest of it, we're about there. So the next lap will be the 12M, which is a 1500 grit lap, and that'll pretty much have us with the shape right and everything pretty well right where we need it. I finished pre-polishing our garnet for our accent design with 3000 grit diamond on a bat lap. And so now I'll polish it. I think I'm going to try the Greenway lap with aluminum oxide and see how that works out. I'm thinking it'll work out fine, but give it a try. The Greenway lap with aluminum oxide cleaned up, polished up the garnet very nicely with no issues. So now I'll transfer the stone and cut the upper half. And I've already made a video of how to transfer the stone, so if you want to see how that's done, go ahead and just watch that video. Okay, I finished pre-polishing the upper half, the crown of our garnet for the accent design, and I used 3000 grit diamond on a bat lap. And now I'm going to polish our stone with my Greenway lap from Gearloose. I'll try that, and with aluminum oxide. Okay, this is the Greenway lap that I have from Gearloose that I'll be using. And what I do is I put a small drip from my drip tank, a very slow drip of water, and I spray it with my spray bottle of aluminum oxide. And that's my little formula, 2 teaspoons aluminum oxide with about 3/4 cup water, and I just mix it up and spray it on there as I need it. Okay, I've finished polishing the crown of our garnet, and now I'll set the stone up in my table cutting apparatus and go ahead and cut and polish the table. Okay, I finished polishing our accent design garnet, and I'll put it in acetone now, soak it, and get the two-part epoxy to remove from the DOP, and then we'll take a look at it, weigh it, measure it, and send it off to BOPIE. The accent design definitely cuts a brilliant garnet, and this uniquely colored Cayenne color of this Tanzanian garnet looks great. There are just a small amount of needles in this garnet, probably rutile, which really makes this a one-of-a-kind gemstone. The accent design is suitable for all cutters, so I recommend you give this design a try, especially in garnet. And if you do cut this design, please drop me a line and let me know how it turned out for you. Pictures are always appreciated, and as always, happy fastening, everyone.